It's hard when it's upside down all of a sudden. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. How does this even work? Hi, hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have something really exciting that I sort of bought on a whim, which we all know happens way too much, but it's a very exciting thing. It is the Titanic Tarot deck. I am personally very excited for this deck, and the way we're going about this is that I do have some information about the Titanic itself, the history of it, so I'm going to go through that. I'm also going to go through a little exclusive interview I had with the creator of the deck, so we can talk a little bit about his opinions, what he went through, the whole situation with the deck, and how it came to be even, because that's a pretty interesting story in and of itself. And then, of course, we're going to go through the actual deck itself. We are going to go through a detailed walkthrough of this deck, so I am gonna link everything in timestamps down below so you can skip through whatever you don't want to see, or if you want to see all of it, thank you so much. So first off, I'm just gonna go through a little bit of the Titanic history. Just a brief little thing, not like the whole shebang here. We don't have time for like a 2-hour thing. But so the Titanic was a British passenger liner, and it was operated by White Star Line. It sank early morning hours April 15th, 1912, as I'm sure most of you know, after striking an iceberg during the maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. There was an estimated of 2,224 passengers on board, and of those passengers, 1,500 passengers sadly passed away that night. Waylon. I'm filming at Sandra's place, and Waylon is
the neighbor's rooster.
The neighbor's rooster, yeah. He wants a prominent part of this video apparently, so if you can hear him in the background, it is what it is. Anywhoosies. The Titanic was under the command of Edward Smith, and he also went down with the ship. It carried some of the wealthiest people in the world, as well as hundreds of immigrants from Great Britain, Ireland, and Scandinavia, as well as from elsewhere in Europe. The last living survivor and youngest passenger, Eliza Gladys Melvina Dean, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that name, who was barely 2 months old when the Titanic went down, passed away May 31st, 2009, and now we have sirens. So that was a little bit of a history about the Titanic, just a brief little thing. I just wanted to refresh your memories, as I'm sure a lot of you have not read up on it in recent years. As I mentioned before, I had a conversation with Robert Tomlinson, the guy who created this deck. And I kind of wanted to ask him some questions about the deck and how it was made, because in my mind, like, it's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think tarot. The Titanic. So I kind of wanted to know how he had made that connection and, you know, some other details. The first thing I asked him was how he came up with the idea of making a deck based on the Titanic and what the process was like. And he said he started doing regular playing cards back in 2012 and 2013, and almost all of his cards were history based, like the American Revolution, the American Civil War, World War II, and then he thought that Titanic was just like a natural progression from there. He did his Titanic playing cards back in 2015, and that same summer he actually had a dream about the Titanic. And that is basically what we see in the judgment card of this deck, so we will get to that, and I will make sure to point it out when we get there. And that's basically what inspired the Titanic Tarot deck, and he had several other dreams while designing the deck as well, so that's super interesting. It started in the summer of 2019, and he was still finishing the design of the minor arcanas as the Kickstarter was still running. And now, in current time, as we speak, the Oz, the tarot deck, I think it's called Oz. I will link the Kickstarter down below, but that is still ongoing now. There were lots of bumps along the way for him, and he's doing actually 12 different history decks right now. And apparently, a little while ago, he had 9,500 decks going missing, which is weird. They did start showing up after he made some apparent angry phone calls and stuff like that. So apparently it was something that was wrong with the shipment FedEx and stuff like that. But this deck, the Titanic deck, it came in a deluxe edition and a standard edition. And with the deluxe edition, it came in a wooden box, which is the one I have. And that apparently posed some unique challenges because they had to make sure everything fit first of all, and then they had some issues with the glue of the box coming undone during shipping. It looks like, however, my box is pristine, so I'm super pleased about that. I'm very excited about it. And then apart from that, I asked, because in the deluxe edition there's a boarding pass with each of the decks, so it's a very limited edition, so I will get back to that. But there is a boarding pass from, not original boarding pass, but a remade boarding pass for each of the passengers that was on the Titanic. So I asked when and how the boarding pass came into play because I thought it was a really unique idea. He said that the boarding passes were a progression of what he did with the playing cards in 2015. He created unique seals for those. Each seal would list a passenger's age, name, and whether they lived or died in the playing cards, the Titanic playing cards. I will see if I can find some pictures and put them up so you guys can see them. He didn't do boarding passes then, but it seemed like a really nice addition, and I really think it is. It's like you get a little closer to it, if you can say it like that. I feel like, at least, and I'm very interested to see whose boarding pass I'm getting. He also said that his mom helped him with the boarding passes because her handwriting is a lot better. And with most projects he does the fulfillment. So typically both his kids and his mom would help. So technically it was like a whole family thing. And then the Titanic was fulfilled by a China division. And they are a fulfillment company in China. So then I asked, because there is a little doubt about where you can get the deck, where it's legitimate, and also to clarify how many decks were produced, because people were a little bit in doubt if it was limited edition or not, or you know, if it was like wholesale now. I've heard a lot of different things, so I just wanted him to clarify. So in total there is 1,000 Titanic Tarot decks produced and only 500 boxes made. So it is limited edition. And he says that he has a few of the boxes himself and a few of the decks himself that he's selling through his own website. Everything of that will be linked in the description. Other than that, Murphy's Magic had 144. That was a couple days ago though, on Tuesday. Murphy's Magic had 144 a few days before that, and then on Tuesday they only had 44 left. So the wooden boxes are going fast, so if you want any hopes of still getting a wooden box, you need to be out soon. He says he only deals with Murphy's Magic, but they're a distributor to magic shops. For instance, Vanishing Ink, which is where I bought my deck from. So they are a UK-based brand, and I thought that was really nice because then I didn't have to pay customs, which we do enjoy. He does also have a Facebook page, and I will link that as well as an Instagram page where you can keep up with like new release decks and stuff. I will also make sure to link that. Let's just get into the actual deck now. This is really heavy. Sandra can confirm that. She has carried this deck as well. I've been at Sandra's place, I'm sure most of you know now, the whole week. Actually, I got here last Sunday and we have been going around Denmark a lot. So we actually basically just went back to my place to fetch the deck. So yeah, look at that though. So beautiful. It's obviously wrapped still, but definitely stunning. And yeah, as I said, so far it seems like I was really lucky with my box. It looks like it came intact. Let's see if I can get this. I have a little knife with me here. Just don't want to damage the deck. Unwrapping. It's always a challenge. We have waited so long to do this, you guys. It's pretty insane, actually. Like, the amount of days we've just been sitting here, like, since Thursday, right? We've just been sitting here looking at this deck in this box and going, oh man, I just want to open it.
Awfulness.
Alright. Ooh. Alright, so this is just a sleeve it comes with. And then we have the actual box. Look at the detail in that. See if we can get it to focus. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is like a rare a rare thing to come with a tarot deck, I feel like. Ooh, I got a dude. He's called Benjamin.
Oh!
Benjamin L. Foreman. There we go. So this is what the little thing looks like. Look at that.
Oh my god.
This is what the little thing looks like, the little envelope. It comes with a little seal with the same stamp on it as the box. There's actually, no, it doesn't say anything else than that. So this is literally the only thing we get. Usually, like a lot of the times, it will say like on the back of the sleeve or something, a few words about the creator or something, but nope. Nada. Okay, so I was debating if I should actually leave it closed, but nah. I am a curious person, and Sandra is here as well now.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come say hi to the people?
Hey! I'm excited.
She's super curious. Ooh, filter paper.
Oh, it feels like softness. What is that?
Oh my gosh.
Damn. Oh my god.
Look at that. This is what it looks like.
I got the chills.
That's really cool, right? So he was 30 years old. I'm just gonna figure out a few things about this guy and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I'm actually really excited about this because we have a lot of information about this guy. He was born in Albany, New York on November 7th, 1881. He comes from a Jewish background. He was the son of Henry W. Foreman, a wholesale hop dealer, and Rose Leventhal. His father hailed from Illinois, whilst mother was born in New York. They were married in 1881. He was also the eldest of 6 children, all sons, and Elliot and Robert, Edwin, Jules, and Frank. And then on February 16th, 1892, Benjamin, his parents, and brother, as well as a servant, Kate Quinn, were shown living in Albany, New York on that year's census. His father worked as an agent at the time. In the summer of 1895, he graduated from Albany Grammar School. According to Knickerbocker Press, 16th April 1912, Foreman first left Albany at age 18 and settled in New York City, where he began working at a Manhattan-based banking firm. On May 3rd, 1900, he left New York City to live in St. Gallen, also called St. Gall, Switzerland, for 2 years to work as a merchant. He applied for a passport at Bern on 13th February 1901, and he was described as standing at 6 feet with a low forehead, brown eyes, medium nose and mouth, pointed chin, dark brown hair, fair complexion, and with an oblong face. St. Gallen had a population of about 54,000 people in 1900 and was the largest and most important export area for embroidery. Today it has a textile museum. So despite being in Europe, Benjamin was listed on a census on the 11th of June 1900 as living with his parents and siblings, as well as 2 female servants at 278 Hamilton Street in Albany. He was described as a lace buyer. The entirety of the family soon shifted to Manhattan, and by the time of the 1905 census were residents of an unspecified address in that city. On February 17, 1903, Benjamin applied for a passport. He had left the United States on January 10, 1903, and planned on staying for another 2 years in St. Gallen, Switzerland. Benjamin sailed from Liverpool on December 16, 1908, aboard the Lusitania and arrived in New York on January 2, 1909. He was listed as a merchant on the passenger list. So on April 19, 1910, the time of that year's census, Foreman was shown living with his parents and brothers and a female servant, Ida Slavic, in an apartment building at 306 West 99th Street in Manhattan, New York. His father continued to work as a hop stealer while Benjamin was then described as an embroidery salesman, as was his brother Edwin. Benjamin boarded the Titanic at Cherbourg, ticket number 113051. The cost was £27. After having conducted business in Europe for his commission firm Kugelmann, Franklin and Foreman, whilst aboard. He occupied cabin C111. Edith Rosenbaum stated that on the night of April 15, 1912, she had seen Foreman near her in the ship's library about 2 hours before the ship struck the iceberg. Abraham L. Solomon said that after the collision he saw Foreman on deck with a lifebelt and a steamer rug and asked him to come to the upper deck to enter the lifeboat. Mr. Foreman remained on the lower deck. Benjamin Foreman died in the sinking and his body, if recovered, was never identified. So his parent remained in New York. His father Henry died on January 12, 1925, while his mother passed on December 23, 1939. Both are buried in Westchester Hill Cemetery in Hastings, New York. So that is my passenger, you guys. Goodness me. It suddenly feels much more real when you get this close to a person. I feel this was a very neat idea with the boarding passes because you suddenly feel a different kind of connection with a person, even though you maybe had no ties to them. So I feel like this was a really neat idea. I really love that. Just a second look. And then let's get into the actual tarot deck here, what we're actually all about here. Okay, so it closes with little magnets right here. So like that. And then like this. The deck is much larger than I expected it to be. Ooh, okay, interesting. So it comes with... Okay, cool. So I was sort of expecting the deck to be loose in here, but it's not. It's in its own little packaging and its own little box, and it's not a little envelope BS thing, which you could expect. Like when it was already in a box, you could say, okay, well, it needs another thing to be handed in. Great, well, we're just gonna do like an envelope thing, like, you know, the standard right away. But they didn't do that. I'm very, very, very impressed. Yep. I'm not trying to cut you guys, I swear. Alrighty. So here we have the information on the back. Lovely. Okay, so the box is matte. Let's see here. There we go. So the box is matte, like a deep blue color. It doesn't have anything on the sides. And then this is the back of the box. You can see a little bit here. It says Titanic Tarot Cards. The RMS Titanic set sail on a journey April 10th, 1912. Only a few short days later, the journey came to an abrupt end for over 1,500 passengers and crew. The tarot deck is designed to capture the love, hate, greed, and sacrifice that took place during those days at sea. Allow the spirits from the journey to help you lead. From that journey to help lead you through your journey. Oh, okay. So let's see what else we have. Okay, so we do have a picture of the flag again in here. There we go. And it says the tarot deck is dedicated to the souls lost in the sinking of the Titanic and also to the memory of the 712 souls who survived. Beautiful. We have the little black book here. All the info, it's in color. Very nice. Like that. Okay, so the actual cards are real people. Some of them at least. Like the king represents full control of one's emotions. Our king of cups represents Archibald Gracie IV, an American writer and historian. Ooh. So I just took the deck out and this is the inside of the box. Look at that. Look at those colors. Oh, the edges are like holographic or something like that. Black. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. It's kind of hard, but see it like that. Absolutely stunning. This is the back. They are shiny. It's not a matte finish. So we will have to make do with that, but it's absolutely gorgeous still. I do love it very much so far. Are they in correct order? Yes. Okay. So it does look like they stick together a little bit when you get them, but that's not a wonder. So let me just actually separate them and I'll be right back. this was the card that he had a dream about, the Judgment card. And I actually think this is very, very well thought through. It also reverses. So you can clearly see the difference in tone here. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so just my final thoughts about this deck before I end. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. You all know how I feel about shiny decks. It's not my preferred, but in this case I feel like it makes sense with the ocean theme, the Titanic theme. I think it's very, very beautiful, very thought out. Again, I love that it came with an actual box inside the big box. I think that's pristine, it's beautiful, it's overall it feels very well thought through, and I enjoy that. What I will say is that some of the minor arcana does seem a little similar to one another, so it's definitely not a beginner's deck, but if you're a skilled reader or if you're very confident in your intuition, I feel like this is a very beautiful deck and I will highly recommend it personally from me. It also feels very, very good shuffle wise. So I'm super excited to feature this deck much more on my channel, and if you enjoyed this unboxing of the Titanic Tarot deck, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel and ring that bell if you want more and see more of this deck. I will definitely feature it in the future. I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!